So I just started my 5th sketchbook, which of course means that I need to start the first page. And I do have one idea for what to draw on this page, which is ocean creatures. I actually haven't drawn that many of those since I mainly just stick to drawing characters, so I figured this would be a nice way to branch out while also having a really cool idea for the first page. So I just decided to draw a shark as the main front centerpiece, just really huge on the 9x12 page, along with some fish and some seaweed because the bottom left was looking kind of empty. And then I just quickly added some more details on the fish before realizing that my sketch was kind of bad. So then I moved on to the second page and just did some practice on there. I started with the shark first because that was going to be the main centerpiece, and I quickly realized that I actually don't know how to draw them. So I just quickly looked up some references and started drawing what I saw there, and I actually liked how this turned out by the end. I had to use quite a few markers to get a more realistic effect, but I think it actually looked really nice in the end, especially with the addition of the white gel pen. So then I moved on to some fish, and I wasn't looking at any particular fish, which I probably should have done because these might be more of river fish than ocean fish, so whoops. But I just mainly added some different colors, tried to make them look as fish-like as possible, and added some white gel pen on the scales to make them look a bit more shiny. Varied the number of fins and their lengths, and also some different shapes for the fish, like this one is way larger than the others. And then I moved on actually to a sea turtle after this, because the fish and the shark were going so well, I figured I might as well move on to other ocean creatures. And I'm actually really glad I did that, because this sea turtle turned out really well on this page. And I never would have thought to do that if I didn't actually practice ahead of time for my sketch. So that was actually really, really nice. And I think adding a whole lot of different markers definitely helped for the effect I was going for a more somewhat realistic drawing. So I just quickly added some more darker browns, just tried to have a bit more variation with the shading here. And after this, I decided to branch out a bit more and moved on to an anglerfish, actually. I just figured since I already went down sea turtles, might as well try some more things. And the anglerfish, I'm not gonna say it looked bad, but it definitely wasn't the effect I was going for this drawing. So in the end, I just decided to move on from that and just added the underwater volcano and the other fish and quickly wrote the date on the other side of the page because I didn't want to ruin the art because I was planning on having a background, and I just did it on the other side just to be safe. And I started with the shark first because that's what I did for the practice page, and I could definitely see my practice pay off because I could see how well the shark was turning out as I moved along. In the beginning, it was mainly yellow, which, of course, sharks don't look very yellow, but after a while you could really see it start to take shape, which was really nice for me because I didn't know how to draw these all that well before this video, and then it just, having it look so well just really made me happy. And then I moved on to the fish. For some of them I didn't do as much white gel pen as I did on the practice page because some of those fish were looking a little too shiny, so I kind of downplayed it a bit. And then I did the sea turtle, which I actually added because if you look back, I didn't actually have it in the original sketch. And it didn't look as good as the one on the second page, but I'd say it looks pretty good for how much space I gave it. And now I'm on to the underwater volcano, and I added some little speckles and dots in places because I wanted it to look more rock-like. And then I did a whole bunch of smoke, and the smoke actually had a very nice effect because I did the cool gray on the bottom and tried to move those colors upward to have the smoke have a more, I want to say smoky effect, but I feel like if it's smoke, it would have a smoky effect, so it's kind of redundant. But then I did the water, and the water definitely took quite a bit of time, but in the end, I feel like it looked really, really good. I like the effect I did at the bottom with the water of having more depth to what I drew there with the sand and the kelp and seaweed. So So with that, I have completed not only the first page, but the second page as well. And I really like what I did with the second page. So with that, it is now time to complete the rest of the sketchbook.